Hey everyone and welcome to Storytime. My name is Jake and today we are going to be looking at the subreddit r/maliciouscompliance, where people have conformed to the letter but not the spirit of a request. If you're new around here, please do hit subscribe down below so that you never miss out on another video. But for now, let's sit back, relax and enjoy some malicious compliance. Got what they asked for twice. I used to wait tables at an upscale restaurant that was known to be the place to have your holiday or office parties. Great money if you got the right group. The menus were preset, the wine and liquor was preset, and it was all auto-graded at 18%. All of it was in the contract the host signed pre-event. Usually, the host would make themselves known fairly early on, so you would know who to talk to if there was an issue, and who to give the check to at the end of the night. One night, I am splitting a party of 30 to 40 with another server. This event had top tier food, and mid-level wine and booze. Very nice. A small group of 5 to 6 people arrive a bit ahead of schedule. 2 guys and 3 to 4 women. Not a problem, it's actually nicer if they slow roll in so we can get drinks started. I walk over, introduce myself and the other waiter, and ask for drinks. Now, this was back in the early 2000s, and chads weren't a thing yet. But the 2 guys were the chaddiest chads. If they could have popped their collars in their suits, I'm sure these guys would have found a way. Me and my bro are gonna start with a round of Johnny Walker Blue, and these ladies are gonna have some expensive red wine. Super Chad 2, turning to the girls, "Haha, once you have a Johnny Blue, you just can't drink anything else. It changes you, bro." If you like, I can put those on a separate tab. The event contract has Johnny Walker Black, but not blue, and the red wine selection for tonight is a less expensive wine. This is our party. Just get me what I ordered and don't question me again. Who do you think you are? You're just some waiter. We have MBAs. Just get us our drinks. I walk over to the other waiter and tell him we are in for a hell of a night, but the check should be nice. For those of you who don't know, Johnny Walker Blue is 3 to 4 times the cost of Johnny Black, so one round of drinks for these people is over $100. The whole night goes exactly what we thought. Nothing was good, the appetizers were crap, the food was horrible, not enough bread, too many bread plates, drinks were taking too long. Why do some people have their food and others don't? It's 40 people, man. It takes a minute to get that much food out. To make it worse, Chads and Co are all over the place, moving seats and making others move so they can talk to who they want. This makes serving hell because we did everything by seat number. Surprisingly, most of the table was normal, not entitled people, and who knew that the waiters are people too. They were impressed by the food and graciously ordered the drinks that were in the contract. One older gentleman at the other end of the table from the Chads apologized for their behavior, saying, "They might have fancy degrees and good jobs, but you can't teach class." Love that guy. Finally, they are winding down after drinking almost a full bottle of Johnny Blue. Along with all the other food and drinks, they have a very hefty check, and the other waiter and I are excited to get paid. We start picking up the dessert plates and asking for last drink requests. The nice older guy at the end of the table says to bring him the check. Not wanting any more interaction with the Chads than necessary, I bring it to him. I tell him I can take care of it whenever and go about clearing the table. A few minutes later, he calls me over. "Maybe there was a mistake in ringing up the drinks. There is almost $600 for Johnny Blue when the contract I signed only included Johnny Black. Are there some single glasses of wine that are different from what we agreed upon?" "No mistake, sir. That is what was ordered and drank." He is being awesome and I feel bad. "Why did you give the drinks to them when we clearly had a contract?" "I apologize, sir. They told me that this was their party and since I was just a waiter, to shut up and do what I was told. So I did. I'm sorry, I took them at their word. I point them out and he calls them over. What follows was the singularly greatest butt chewing I have ever been witness to. He goes on about how he was doing something nice, but apparently that wasn't enough. About how horrible their behavior was that night, and he is ashamed for them. But my favorite line was how you see a true person's color in how they treat people that work for them, and they had shown theirs. Then he calls me back over. Apparently, I thought this was my party. Guess I was wrong. This is their party, and they will be taking care of the check. Oh, and up the gratuity to 25%. You earned it. He turns around and walks off, leaving the chads with the check. All in all, it was about $3,000. I have never seen two grown men look so defeated. I feel as though that old nice guy might have been the two chads' dad, because that would make more sense, I don't know, but let me know what you guys think. Cut my financial aid because I don't use enough? Alright, I will use it more. I go to a pretty cheap technical college. Have had many issues from denying my financial aid to literally shutting my program down. With what financial aid I did get, I am able to enjoy a full ride. My Pell Grant pays for my classes, and my scholarship money lets me live rent-free. I picked up a job so I could buy healthier meals, and build my dream computer setup. So far, $3,000 in. All was pretty simple until I get an email stating how I don't use enough financial aid to keep it, and if I don't use it all, it will be reduced next semester. Summer classes happen to be cheaper than most, so I didn't break into my aid as much. My classes next semester will be almost $10,000 more, so I need to find a way to burn $10,000 of financial aid. Doing research, I learned I could get the money put on a card that I could only use in the college bookstore and cafeteria. This works out because I happened to be fairly hungry at the time. I went in and bought whatever drinks seemed good. Eventually, they let me in the back so I could buy it easier in bulk. From soda to uncooked foods, I had fun. I ended up buying out mostly everything and left much of it behind to be given away. After I brought everything home, took me a few trips, and organized everything, I replied to their email. There you go, I used it all. Few weeks later, and just got confirmed that I will be getting my full financial aid. Edit, since this blew up, here is an image of like 100th of what I bought. Not gonna lie, those drinks do look quite nice, but this is just how every business operates that's a huge business or like a school or something. They just set a budget, and if they don't spend it, they're like, oh, we can lower it. They don't think about, oh, we can put this money elsewhere. Nah, that's too much work. Physician owns management. During my internship at this local hospital, there was this huge management overhaul. They suddenly decided it was turnover time and started sending retirement notices to most of the older, more experienced doctors, the most expensive ones to keep, without giving them a chance to pass their specific knowledge to other professionals. The head physician in my ward was 1 year away from ordinary retirement, and the only one who actually knew how to correctly treat some specific cases. Retiring early would mean for her to lose a big percentage of her retirement check, because she wasn't meeting age requirements. A few days later, she walked in with the biggest smile, and we all just followed her to her office to listen to what had happened during her meeting with management. This is more or less what she told us. I made a big smile and told them I will be happy to retire on September 1st as they desire. I then reminded them that, as verified by the hospital's accountant, they owe me a total of 100 days of paid leave, and I would be clocking off tomorrow to lawfully use up all of my leave before retirement. Needless to say, management made up some excuse and she got to retire when her time was due, with the money she deserved and with a hefty sum to cover for all of the holidays and days off she could never take due to being overworked. I didn't know management could actually do that. You can order someone to retire early. That seems like such a scummy thing to do. Cult leader loses rights to his religious text. My professor in law school told me this story about a case he worked on. I don't have all the details and I can't link to the case itself. He keeps things vague for confidentiality reasons, but I figured y'all would like it the same. A religious group started after the leader came back from the North American desert, having spoken to God. God instructed him to write down his teachings and disseminate them to the leader's flock. Leader was more than happy to do this, so long as his followers were willing to pay a mint to get the texts. After reading, some followers felt that these texts should be available to all, so they started copying the book and disseminating it for free. The leader was angry he wasn't getting more money, so he sued for copyright infringement. Important note, for a copyright to be legit in the US, you must be able to show that you are the original author and creator. So, leader takes this to court, and the defense hits him with the most solid question I heard in my entire legal education. Did you write these texts? He can't admit he wrote them. God wrote them. Leader transcribed. So the followers win, because the only person with standing to defend the copyright was God. For some reason I just imagine this guy going, "Oh, one sec, I'm just going to the bathroom," goes in there, puts on like a beard and comes back and goes, "I am God and I wrote this," or whatever. Let your kid run around the restaurant? No problem. This happened like 4 months back. After going to church, our family went out to eat dinner at a local restaurant. Their popular dish is chicken barbecue. We get settled in our table and we order our meals. A few moments later, after our meal arrives, a large family arrives and sits behind us. With them is a little kid, no more than 5. While eating, we notice the kid starts running around the restaurant screaming. The kid reaches our table and looks at us eating. My sister and her boyfriend tell the kid nicely to sit down since she might get hurt. The mum hears this and tells them to just let her be since she's a kid. They comply and the kid continues running around screaming. A few moments later, we hear a thud, followed by a cry. We knew exactly what happened. The kid ran into a table. The mum rushes over to her precious angel and starts smothering her with kisses. The crying eventually stops after a few minutes though. We finish our meal and got ice cream for dessert and went home. Karen, control your kid, especially in restaurants. I'm surprised they don't just get kicked out straight away, like, you're gonna ruin other people's meals. Car crane? You got it. Many years ago, when mobile phones aren't so common, and all of us have to use landlines, my friend, I'll call him Chema, got this new rented flat in our city. He asked for a new landline to the only one, telco, that existed at the moment in the country. This was Spain in the late 80s. So the state-owned telephone company provided him with a new phone and a reused number. That means that the phone number he got was used before. That was very common then. I even got a number that used to belong to a justice court. It only happens that this very old number was used by a car insurance company, or assurance reseller, I don't know very well. So from time to time, my friend was getting calls from people with their cars broken, asking for help to send a car crane for towing their vehicle. My friend, being a good bloke, usually told them that this phone was no more than assistance phone. He even got the actual number close to tell people where to call. But one day, one guy asked for a car crane in the middle of nowhere. My friend started to explain the case, and that he needed to call the other phone, and the guy started to yell and be very rude, as only a Spanish could be. So after some words, my friend told him, "Okay, the help is on your way. Only wait close to your vehicle," and hung off. Maybe he's still waiting there. I bet that guy was waiting for hours before he realized, maybe this car person isn't coming. Hey everyone, I hope you all had a really good day and that you enjoyed that video. If you want to check out some other videos, then click on screen right now, or check out the playlist down below. If you enjoyed that video, then please do leave a like. And if you want to submit your own stories, then you can do so by joining the Discord in the top link in the description. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon.